We'll start off with you, Pamela. What is it about TEALSD? How did that even come to be something that you founded for your books and moving forward? What is it all about?
Okay, starting with TEALSD, it began as a funny story because we were first put in a group at campus. And then we were in the same group with him. We began jazzing, and then after he told me, okay, we began jazzing about stories.
Yes.
And then I saw the interest he had. Also, I love to listen to stories. And then he was going to do online contests like writing poems. Then he was like, why don't I come up with TEALSD? Pamela tells Davis.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is very interesting. So is that how you come up with also some of the books that you're working on? Is it a tale about what you two develop, or basically about what inspires you in writing?
Basically, it's about what inspires us. Right now, this project is his. He wrote it himself. But also me, I'm having my things in progress. Like right now, I want to write the Cinderella shoe.
Oh, wow.
Then the Devil's Tunnel.
Wow, obviously there is a lot in store that Pamela is putting across. But I want to go to you, Davis. Having started off from a tale to Davis, what are you fronting right now? What is that book about? And of course, the mystery in it. I'm holding a book here with me, and allow me to just read what is written here. If we are to end AIDS in Africa, we need to infect our own doctors. Obviously, I don't know why writers always hide messages into quoted sentences like this. Tell us more about this, Davis. And of course, you can say good morning to our viewers.
Yes, thank you so much, Molen. And good morning, Uganda. As she has said, TEALSD, it started all way back from campus. It was a mystery, but it later became a reality. And this is the reality you're seeing. This is our first book. If we are to end AIDS in Africa, we need to infect our own doctors. The title is symbolic, it's indirect. The theme of the book is about innovation. Awakening and steering innovation in Africa. And innovation is about ideas, creating new ideas, be it a design, creating a new art. So the book is about awakening and steering innovation in the African continent.
Well, that is good. Now, I want to believe that each chapter that you've put in this group, in this book, is describing a certain aspect of innovation, like you've put it across all ideas. Walk us through chapter by chapter, a summary of what you're trying to tell and how you're telling it throughout these chapters.
In the book, we have an introduction.
Okay.
An introduction about the Organization of African Unity, where we had very many aspirations through that Organization of African Unity. So we give a glimpse of what those people had in mind for Africa. From there, we also have a chapter that talks about the African child. The African child is not empowered to innovate. We address that in the book. We also address the strength we Africans have. You know, at one point, we Africans don't realize our potential, the potential we have. We don't show our potential to the world. In innovation, I will drive to Maslow's law, where he says that he ranges the needs of people, whereby he starts with physiological needs, where there is food, shelter. Then he goes on and from physiological, then safety needs, whereby you want to be safe, security. Then he goes to love needs, intimate relationships. So basically that's where we Africans stop. But in that law, he continues and says that there is the self-esteem bit of it, where you realize yourself, you are aware about your potentials. Then at the top, there is self-actualization, where you create. So in most cases, we, as Africa, we stop at the love needs, where I have food, I have clothes, maybe I get some money, I have security, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, we stop there. We don't realize the potential we have. So this book sets an eye opener to the African child.
Yes.
And also in chapter 8, it brings out very many African sayings and proverbs that can be incorporated into innovation.
Well, that is really a good one. And of course, talking about chapter 8, this is the one you're calling the Hope for Africa. And I would want to think that there is, when you're doing writing, obviously, there's a lot of people that will be picking up on that inspiration. When you talk about Hope for Africa, obviously, this is inspiration in the fact that there are children out there that would also want to be writing and, of course, have lacked the inspiration and where to start from. Now, I want to pose this to you, Pamela. How do you think, as TEALSD, and with your writing of such a book and ending at a final note of hope, is there hope for writers around Uganda or even Africa, and some of the opportunities out there for them to grab?
Yeah, according to TEALSD, there is a lot of opportunity for people, for individuals who are aspiring to become writers. Because me at first never had that urge, but seeing different people who love that writing, reading novels, it inspired me to also become one, whereby I would think of something and then I would love to create something out of it, so that people are inspired, so that the youth are inspired even to go further in what they believe they can do.
So are you posing this as this is going to be an individual initiative, or have you seeked out other arenas that have inspired you as well, or even look out for some of the events that help writers in this country? Is that something that young writers could also be taking on to help them better themselves?
Yeah, of course, it's something that young writers would be looking on so that they can go further. Like right now, want to be able to arrange events whereby we are able to engage in different people so that they can see that also, yes, we are able to do something. So, as in, if a writer is there and they're inspired to go further, of course, we have to step out of the box and do something. Look for opportunities that will help you be some.
Well, that is very interesting, obviously, grabbing opportunities for yourself. But Davis, I do know that you are still pursuing your bachelor's in Makerere University, and that is, of course, in Records and Archive Management in South Africa School of Library. Is that something that relates to your career in writing, or is that something that has also inspired you to go on with the writing, or even writing of this book?
To a greater extent, it is. It's a very good platform for me. It's the East African School of Library and Information Science under the College of Computing and Information Sciences. So, since I'm a leader, I did in the cabinet.
Oh, okay.
Yes, courses.
Interesting.
Yes. So, it's easier to interact with students when you're a leader. So, in some cases, we could interact, most especially when we brought in the freshers to the university. You could see that they lack that innovation bit. So you could reach out to a person and tell someone that you are at the College of Computing and Information Science. What are you going to create for yourself? Are you just going to come and go? Are you going to create a system for yourself? You're studying computer science, studying software engineering, records and archives management, library and information science. You need to create something out of you, that something out of you, and show it to the world. You need to create a solution to a problem that is affecting our country or continent at large. So basically, East African School of Library and Information Science, as well as College of Computing and Information Science, has been a great platform and drive for us.
Well, that's when you talk about you being a leader there, I can see much of what that has to do with you even wanting to tell stories, because being a leader has a lot to encompass when it comes to taking care of people and, of course, inspiring them to do better. But allowing me to tap back into what happens with campus life. Because here you are, you're a leader, but also you have your own aspirations. You're a writer and you're going for it. Can't that interfere with the general way of studying? Don't you feel like that would take away time from your studies?
To a lesser extent, it can. Yeah, true. Because you have to find a way of balancing. Balancing meetings, balancing writing. Then the best thing is balancing the writing. Because coming up with this book when you have studies, coursework, you have assignments. What I did in the first place is taking away anything that is going to distract me, starting with a phone. Every app that was going to distract me, I deleted it. PES, Dream League, that is football. I had to remove TikTok, any app that distracts them. It's just for entertainment. So I concentrated on writing. You from lectures in the evening, writing. So after deleting all those distractions, I actually reached a point of wanting to uninstall WhatsApp because all the time I was on the phone every time, 24/7. So I said maybe I should uninstall this app. So it's all about balancing and knowing what you want and removing all those distractions.
Well, you bring out a good point, because earlier today we're looking at smartphone addiction, and of course talking about how people have been involved in social media, and we can't take it away because we do know that it does help out with a lot, and but the addiction is there. Pamela, I don't know your experience with the social media and trying to focus on what you're focusing on right now, running TEALSD. Is this something that you think is unnecessary evil? I want to say that. Is this something that also helps with the writing and of course having such a foundation? But again, what are the advantages that you see in that, and the challenges, of course, for you as someone who has taken on writing?
Anyway, for me, with social media, of course, it's to a larger extent, okay, it has advantages and disadvantages. But according to the writing thing, I think also social media also helps to be known, of course, beyond. You write a poem, of course, you have to post it on social media so that people get to know who you are, so that people are inspired by what you do. So to me, I could support social media to some extent.
Well, Davis almost deleted his WhatsApp. I'm wondering. But I guess it also comes to you having time to concentrate. Obviously, we do know that, and this is a distraction for young writers. When you're living in a world where there is a lot happening, you can easily divert from what you're aspiring for. So I think either way, we need to stay focused. Now, I do know that also TEALSD is launching this as the first initiative. Pamela, tell us more about the launch.
The launch, it's going to be held at Makerere University at COSIS, College of Computing and Information Science, also known as COSIS, of course, among the Makerere students. It's going to be held in Lab B. It's on 17th June, this coming week. So we are prepared to get support from everyone, from our students, our leaders.
What are our expectations if we're coming there? What is in store? What should we expect? Are you even giving out free books or something?
No. Only free drinks.
Do we come with money so that we buy the book?
Anyway, on 17th, expect free drinks and free foods. Of course, that's what inspires most students to come to invest. But also come with some money, 20,000, to get this copy of TEALSD, first in stock, and more to come.
Well, thank you very much, Pamela. But Davis, also take us through the publishing, because it's one thing to write and have your story out, but the publishing, and I know a lot of writers that would be, interested in knowing, how do you get there? How did you accomplish this publishing, and how far does that go?
Thank you. Publishing is, I won't say it's hectic, but takes a lot of steps. Writing itself is not an easy go. You have to concentrate, write, spending months. This is a project that can take 1 or 2 months or 3, not even 4. It will depend. It takes time. Then getting to know the right publisher who's going to guide you. You know, publishers hide a lot from we, the writers. So if you get a publisher who's open to you, ready to develop you as a first writer, it's the best thing to go.
Well, and after publishment, of course, that means the book is out, and this one is out.
Yes.
Well, apart from us getting those copies from the launch, where are we going to be getting copies of this book? Because there is a lot in here that people need to read. Where have you prepared for us to be able to, also for our viewer out there, be able to access a copy of this book?
Immediately after the launch, that is Friday 17th June, next week, first of all, they will be available online. They'll be available online. Secondly, on various bookshops in Kampala, Masaka, and also in Barara. Those are the 3 major districts that are going to be able to sell and distribute those books. Then also at Makerere University, the books will be got from every college. Every college and every hall, there will be a standpoint where they will be sold. So to the Makerere fraternity, these books will be available everywhere, in every hall, in every college. It will be an easy go to get your 20,000 and purchase the book.
Well, that is interesting, and I want to get your last message, Pamela, on what you have in store for TEALSD, but also something to all writers out there that are wishing could also be on this platform to actually have a book published.
Anyway, I want to advise all writers and people who are wishing to become writers that all you have to do is to trust in yourself, have the right people to take you through the road, right advisors, also get to believe in yourself so that you can achieve more. If you believe in yourself, that's when you can be able to achieve more. Get rid of the vices, those disadvantages that come around people trying to discourage you. Focus on what you want. That's when you'll be able to achieve more.
Well, thank you very much, Pamela, and I want to pose the same question to you, Davis. What would be your message to the writers out there, and of course people who want to get into writing, and something that can get them to a step that you have taken?
I will start with the core thing. The core step is starting. We do have dreams. We do imagine. I can imagine 1,000 things a day, but the first thing is, the best thing is starting. The moment you start, everything will work. We have problems. Every project has problems, be it in studies, be it where. So be ready to encounter those problems. But once you start and put that dream into reality, everything will be easy for you.
Well, interesting. And what I'm taking from this is believe in yourself. That is core. After believing in yourself, start. Take that step and start, because that will be the beginning of you getting there. And obviously that is very much you know, talking to a lot of people who have been in writing and have failed but still want to continue. Go on, get to believe in yourself, and of course start those projects that have been pending. And well, I want to thank you very much, Pamela and Davis, for coming to through for today. And of course this is inspirational, and of course for you out there, if you're looking for more copies of this book, like they have said, obviously also on their social media platforms, that is TEALSD, and most of that is also to an encouragement and inspiration to all writers. Keep writing, and of course that story will be told one day, and of course that day is for yours to determine. Well, we'll be leaving you at that. We do have sports highlights coming up, and of course Ruben Pima Chibirango will be here to give you most of those updates. If you're wondering about the fate of Uganda Cranes, I'm also wondering, but I know that Ruben will be giving us more of what will be happening, and of course cutting across the sports arena worldwide. Well, my name is Molly Kenyana. I'll leave you at that, wishing you a nice Friday and of course a wonderful weekend.